I'm Paul Pearson, host of Star Time, and when I'm not hearing men compare women to residential real estate, I'm listening to Rainier Avenue Radio World.
All of us have struggled through the COVID-19 pandemic, and many of our communities have been particularly hard hit. Some things definitely need to change, but a few things should stay the same, like protecting your child from serious diseases you can prevent now. Preventable diseases like measles, mumps, and whooping cough. Is camp, childcare, or in-person school on your family's agenda? Give your child a healthy and safe summer and school year by making sure they're up to date on vaccinations and well child visits. You have the power to protect. Call your healthcare provider to find out what vaccinations your child is due for and make an appointment today. If you need help finding a provider, visit parenthelp123.org or call the Help Me Grow Washington hotline at 1-800-322-2588. An interpretation is available.
Greetings. This is your host, DJ Naftali, Rainier Avenue Radio World, the best DJ in the Seattle area. You can catch me every Monday at 8 p.m. on YouTube. Like I said, this is DJ Naftali, the best reggae in Seattle, Washington, the best radio station, Rainier Avenue Radio World. Right?
Women Empowerment Talk Radio, your roadmap to business success. Tune in every Sunday at 3 p.m. on Rainier Avenue Radio World, providing resources and sharing motivational experiences from the everyday entrepreneur. Tune in Women Empowerment Talk Radio every Sunday, 3 p.m. on Rainier Avenue Radio World.
Atlantic Street Center has been serving the children, youth, and families of the Seattle-King County area since 1910. We partner with families and communities to raise healthy, successful children and youth through services including counseling, early learning, youth development, domestic violence, and education support for school-aged children. Committed to serving the African-American community, Atlantic Street Center provides services and support for all marginalized people. Learn more at AtlanticStreetCenter.org.
You're listening to Rainier Avenue Radio World. Check us out on social media, Facebook and Instagram, Rainier Avenue Radio World, and on Twitter at Rainier Ave Radio.
Every time you play so smooth, makes me wanna groove, the tree says groove. Every time you play so smooth, makes me wanna groove, the tree says groove.
Seniors Matter and 2023. Wow, we did it. I can't believe it. I'm Brenda Charles Edwards, the host of Seniors Matter. We're live every Friday at 12:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on www.rainieravenueradio.world, your community radio station. You can also listen to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch TV, Twitter, and of course, on the Rainier Avenue Radio app. We feature interviews with people that provide services or have valuable information for seniors, their families, and the community. Do you need financial documents notarized? Are you a senior or anyone else that needs documents read to you for clarity or completion? If so, please call me at Black Orchid Notary 206-683-2636. Tell me where, I'll meet you there. My guest today is Shaude Moore, who is the chair of the Seattle-King County MLK Jr. Organizing Coalition, which is an all-volunteer and grassroots organization that annually plans the community's largest tribute to the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Welcome to the show. Come on in. Dante.
Hi, can you hear me, Brenda?
I hear you. How are you?
I'm good. Happy Friday. Happy New Year. I am excited. I think beyond excited, again, that it's Friday. It's been a day full of meetings, a week full of
exhausted.
Getting back into, the formation of just work itself. So extremely excited for the weekend. So again, thank you for having me, and looking forward to giving some updates to the community on where we stand for the King Day celebration on the 16th.
Sounds good. So And that's something else I was going to say too, is that the weekend of January 13th through the 16th has been, gosh, what a whirlwind for celebrating Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what you guys have planned?
Yeah, so I'll just give kind of a rundown of what we have listed on our website. So we have a youth event on the 15th, which is that Sunday before the Monday, from 2 to 4. And that's going to be on Rainier Avenue Radio. And you'll get to hear from 6 of our wonderful interns. This is our 3rd year of doing our internship program. So again, really looking forward to you all seeing the marvelous work that they put in the last couple of months of creating their program for our young people, but as well as, you know, our community and all together, to just hear the minds and the voices of our young people. We'll have our opportunity fair, which I'm excited to bring back because it's been 2 years. Obviously, COVID took us all by storm, so we were not able in 2021 and 2022 to have our opportunity fair. So that's going to be open to the public. I believe we have over 30 submissions from different organizations and businesses that are looking to hire on the spot. So extremely excited about that. That's going to be on the 16th from 8:30 to 11:30 a.m. And we're going to have a resume review room. So if you want to bring your resume, or if you need to tailor your resume, or if you just want some additional input, we'll have that available. And that's going to be in the Garfield High School cafeteria. And then workshops. We have been doing our workshops throughout COVID, but this is the first year that we're bringing back our in-person workshops. We are planning to do a hybrid of both virtual and in-person. So from January 10th through the 14th, which obviously pre-registration is required. And you can do that on our website at www.seattlemlkcoalition.org. We have between, I believe, 6 and 8 virtual workshops that are available to the community. And then on the 16th, MLK Day, we are going to have in-person workshops at Garfield High School from 9:30 to 10:50 a.m. So I believe, again, it's been quite some time since we did anything in person. So our team is really looking forward to being able to feel and see and touch the community and have that interaction be more interpersonal. So we're really excited for that. Rally. We'll have our normal indoor rally in the Garfield Gymnasium, which will start at 11 a.m. Our program is pending final approval this weekend, but we should have some information for the community on our website no later than next Wednesday. And then our march, again, January 16th, it will start at 12:30 p.m. It'll be right in front of Garfield. That's typically where we start. So right as you're getting ready to enter into the street, right, directly across from Ezel's. And then we'll be starting our march. So that's what folks can expect to see next week and on King Day. Again, a ton of great surprises. This is our 40th annual celebration. We've been marching for justice since 1983. Our founders, our current members, our young people, our sponsors, our donors, everyone is just looking forward to getting back out there. And again, like I said, we in person, it's been 2 years. So I know for me, I'm happy just to be back in the school. So that's it.
I get it. Well, whew, take a breath. Yes. So give the audience a little history of how this got started and when it was started. So
my history is vague, and I know that sounds bad, right? Being in the chair. I have several advisors, Larry Tukes. I'm sorry, not Larry Tukes, but Larry Gossett. Larry Tukes was one of our former chairs, and really held us and pushed us through for several years, leading the march and rallies and just our coalition all together. Larry Gossett was one of our founding members, but also was an individual that helped me to find my voice and be a creator and a leader of this space. So he's been one of my advisors as well. You have Bob Barnes, you have Lacey Steele. There's quite a few out there, and we're actually still trying to gather a list of all of our founders to see who is still with us so that we can honor them this upcoming King Day as well. So we are looking forward to that. But yeah, I mean, from what I've been told, it's just a group of pioneers and community leaders that came together that say, hey, there are several issues that are impacting our community, that are impacting our people, and we need to provide a voice. We need to provide a platform. And that's where this coalition, this committee was created, just off of folks coming together, meeting. And I don't know how often they met, but I know that I can tell you it doesn't take just a few 2 or 3 meetings to put this together. It is a planning season that takes, around 6 months or plus, with meetings, twice, 2 or 3 times a month, just to put these events together for you all. So just imagine, like 40 years ago, there was a ton of legwork that had to be done to organize all the facets of this event. Now, over time, we have evolved. We added our opportunity fair about 7 years ago, 5 or 7, I think 6 or 7 years ago. We have a wonderful internship program that we launched about 3 years ago. This is our 3rd year. This is our year where we've had some really dynamic and top tier young people. We have a couple of seniors from Garfield High School and other schools in the community that have stepped up and say, hey, I want to be a part of this. I want, my voice to be heard. So, we've added that as well. Our workshops, we've had workshops, but we've had to play with the way that we communicate and get our workshops out to the community. So like I had mentioned, before COVID, we were having our workshops all in person. And then when COVID hit, we had to make a very challenging decision on whether or not we continue on with the celebration as we typically have, or do we cancel it? And the coalition unanimously decided to keep it going. And we said, hey, we'll make the necessary changes just so that way, we're keeping the health of our community members, in the forefront, and the safety at the forefront. So we've made a tremendous amount of changes where we have folks who have never understood tech, learn tech in a matter of a couple of weeks and a couple of months. I think that was the phase where everybody was figuring out Zoom. We're learning Zoom. We're becoming creators of Zoom accounts, and we're orchestrating and leading meetings. And it's so amazing to see how much work everyone behind the scenes has put into this, because it's turned into, again, it's almost like a full-time job, that, again, none of us get paid for, but we love it because we love seeing it come together, and we love seeing, how it pays homage to not only King's legacy and him visiting, but also, the leaders in our community that have helped move and shift that mission and vision forward. So there's just been a lot of learning. There's been a lot of, negotiations and meetings and just partnerships that have been happening in the background. But it had, like I said, it's been amazing to see just us evolve within this last 40 years.
How long have you been in the organization?
Oh, my baby just turned 13 yesterday, and I came in when she was a few months old. So this is around 12 and a half years. And I learned about this organization through Theresa Gossett, who is Larry Gossett's sister, and her and I used to work together doing security downtown Seattle. And she became like Mama Gossett. I just talked to her all the time. We worked the same shifts, and she would talk about her upbringing and, going to college. And at that point, in time, I was a young single mother, and I was working, and I wanted to do more. Being able to give back is a part, I say, is a part of my DNA. So having her kind of, help reform my way of thinking, but say, hey, like, my brother is leading this organization. This is when they meet. I think you will be a great fit. Just check it out. And I did. I came to an in-person meeting in the CD, which at that point it was hard for me to get to because I don't even think I had a car. And I made it, and I stayed. And then from there, I was just hooked. I was like, what can I do as a young person to be more involved? And I've stayed ever since. And 3 years ago, I became the first woman executive chair of the coalition under the age of 30. So it was the first time we had a woman lead this organization, and the first time that we had anyone under the age of 30 lead it, not to include the entirety of our executive team, So our vice chair and our treasurer at that time were also all in the early 30, late 20 bracket. So it was very interesting, but we pulled it through and we came together and we have a dynamic team.
It sounds like it. If you're just tuning in, you're listening live to Seniors Matter with your host, Brenda Charles Edwards, on www.rainieravenueradio.world, your community radio station. We're here every Friday at 12:30 Pacific Standard Time. Do you know what's the best legacy we can give ourselves and our loved ones? Please join me on Zoom for a group or individual session on legacy end-of-life planning. You can reach me at 206-683-2636. Now back to my guest, Shaude Moore, who serves as the chair of the Seattle-King County MLK Jr. Organizing Coalition. Girl, what's the acronym?
So are you talking about the acronym as it relates to the Seattle MLK? Or yes. So a lot of the times we say SMOLIC, right? And it's sometimes easier than spelling everything out. So acronym S, Seattle, MLK, right, which we all know, and right. Then OC, Organizing Coalition. I know some folks were like, man, the name is so long, but a couple years ago in 2018, we had to make an executive, a really very difficult change in our organization structure. Prior to becoming the Organizing Coalition, we were the Celebration Committee. We were the MLK Celebration Committee. That's what everyone knew us as. But we had some changes in our leadership. And whereas others in the coalition at that, or in the committee at that time, felt like we needed to go a different route. So kind of just, it split in two ways. If you quote me, it went two different directions in leadership. But we had some folks come in to become advisors to help those that were still remaining figure out the best way to keep this moving forward. So once we had a few meetings, several of us said, hey, we need to rename ourselves. This is new. We're starting fresh. Although we're continuing on with that legacy from 1983. So that has never changed. So we became the Seattle MLK Organizing Coalition. That's what we do. We organize this event. We are, again, you had mentioned it. We are a team of volunteers from all over the Puget Sound that come together to put this event on. What I love is, we have a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So we have young people anywhere from like 15 years old up into, their 70s and 80s that are part of this group. And whatever work anyone could put in is better than no work, even if that's just spreading the word or doing outreach or helping us find ways to fundraise this event. Why? Because we have bills to pay like everyone else. So we rely on the support from our funders and our donors to help us, make sure that our Garfield is paid for their services of that day, and to make sure that any vendors that we select to help keep our events intact, for logistics, it could be radios, and it could be, for food, it could be making sure that we pay, the businesses that we partner with to make sure that, we're paying them for the food delivery services, for meals. It could be paying vendors for our opportunity fair to bring in tables and to bring in laptops so we have the technology that we need in order to service the community. So there's so much paying for buses and shuttles. Years we have been going through King County, just transit, metro to get our buses. And then COVID happened and then we were stopped. So we had to figure out another, way to get around that. So we had to look at other organizations to help us service, those 2 years. And it was very difficult, just trying to get that business out there, but we made it happen. We spent a little bit more money than we normally probably would have, but we made it work. We weren't inside the school, so we had to make sure we had porta potties, right. On the outside of Garfield to make sure folks can use the restroom. We had to go and purchase a ton of tents to make sure that we can still do vendor tabling. So it's so much. And then our sound team, that helps, orchestrate, make sure we have our mics working and our amps and our music. I mean, there's so much. So, but again, I'm always so ecstatic to see everything come together the day of. That's how just from being a part of this coalition, that it's paid off.
Absolutely.
And then getting that feedback from the community, our volunteers that help us on that day of, they come out with their families and with their kids. And they say, hey, I want to get my hands dirty. What can I do? We have people show up the day of that haven't even signed up for a volunteer position, that just want to be hands on deck the day of. So
I was just going to ask you about the volunteers.
Yeah.
Like, how do they contact you, as well as anything else if someone wants to help and say even join?
Yeah. So if you want to volunteer, again, if you go to www.seattlemlkcoalition.org/volunteer, it has all of our volunteer information on that page. What we're looking for, kind of a very high level overview of the roles and responsibilities of our volunteers. We do partner with United Way of King County. We have an amazing director. That's what she is. She's a director at United Way that also is a coalition member of the MLK Organizing Coalition. So it's a segue. It's a partnership that she's created with her leadership as well and her business to say, hey, what we'll do is we'll take care of the volunteer paperwork. We'll make sure that we create, a page in our system where folks can click on a link and they can go and put their information in, their name, their cell phone if they want to, their email if they want to, and then a position that they want to volunteer for. And then you'll constantly get emails from, members of our team and our leads on what the next steps are. So United Way of King County has really been gracious and a supporting partner every year. Our fiscal sponsor is the Urban League. Urban League comes through every year. They make sure that we take care of our financials. So we're really blessed to have them as a partner.
Yes.
Muckleshoot Tribe has been one of our top donors and sponsors every year, donating over $10,000. So we've been gracious to them as well. But as far as, again, volunteering, going back to that, www.seattlemlkcoalition.org/volunteer. And it has everything there on how, what to expect and how to sign up.
So what about vendors? What type of vendor tabling are you doing?
Vendor table, it's open-ended. We don't put any restrictions. I also, as being the chair, I'm kind of the interim secretary too. So I take care of all the emails, making sure that, we're responding in a timely manner. And vendor tabling for community groups is first come, first serve. We ask that all of our vendors show up and arrive to the school around 8 a.m., that they check in at our information desk, which is right next to the Garfield main office. So those main doors will be open. Setup needs to be ready to go around 8:30. And then this year we're asking for tables to be removed at 1, just because, we're pushing to get out of the school and give them that time back by 2 p.m. And that's for indoors. We have folks who are asking to vendor or table outdoors. Same rules apply, but we do not restrict who may set up a booth. Indoors we do. Again, first come, first serve. But we also, if you're outdoors, we want to make sure that, our community members are compliant, with ensuring that, we're meeting the fire code, that the event is accessible, and we're not blocking doorways, parking lots, or entrances. So for those of you that are interested in tabling, again, the website, www.seattlemlkcoalition.org/community tables, you'll have all your information there. Or you can email us. You can email us at mlkseattle@gmail.com, and myself most likely will respond and give that same direction.
I love it. I love it. So I know that you're going to be in different newspapers with your flyers, but can you just name a couple of papers in case people should forget where something is going on or how it's happening? Can you let them know?
Yeah. So next week, we're planning on being on KRYZ KRIZ, sorry. I'm having one of those moments. We've been on KKNW, so I'll be back on KKNW next Thursday. We have submitted requests to the Fax, into the Medium, into the Emerald, and we've been talking with Seattle Times, and they keep coming. They typically do come like the week before the event, so it's kind of like, it's kind of an overhaul. It's so much, but if you didn't hear a local newspaper, near you, it could be coming. So those are just a few to look out for. Again, the Fax, the Medium, the Emerald, and the Seattle Times.
Sounds like you have a lot of bases covered.
Trying to get it out there. Outreach is important.
So how many people have you had in the past attending the march?
Yeah, so several years ago, we got close to 10,000.
Oh my
so
God.
that's the highest I've ever known it to be. To be honest with you, the last 2 years have been okay. They haven't matched any of our previous numbers. So we've roughly been, anywhere between 2,000 and 3,000 that have came out in the last 2 years due to COVID. The first year though, so what was that? 2021 was even rough. I think it was between 1,000 and 2,000 people. And I just, again, COVID was high,
Right.
and
that was a good number for COVID.
yeah, it was. We were even shocked. And again, that's why I said we were debating as a team on whether or not we even wanted to put in the work to plan that year. And we just said, we're going to do it. We're going to do it because, the community expects it, and whether or not we do something in person or we do something virtual, we're going to do something. And we were able to have, a little bit of both. So our workshops were 100% virtual. We did not have an opportunity fair that year, which was very hard. But they had to make the decision to pull. And then we had our march and rally, which was outdoors. So we were okay with that because we had a lot of guidance and information on our website that, spoke to what our requirements were. And we follow CDC guidelines. So we were okay. We reached out to, various health organizations to get some input on what we needed to do. And we got a ton of guidance and feedback, and we made it work. We had signs, we had stickers on the ground at Garfield. We gave out masks. That was the first year in 2021, I believe, that we had partnered with NAM, and NAM came out and was also working with another vendor to do vaccinations. So we had vaccinations on site.
Great.
We were giving out goodies to the children. So they had books. It was amazing, again, to see how we went through this global pandemic, but how as a community, we were still coming together to make it work. So, and then provide services that would have been more or less difficult for folks to get to.
Wow. You are doing it. And congratulations. I mean, this is a very large undertaking, and you're to be commended for your dedication. That's what every organization hopes, that they have someone that's dedicated as you are, as I'm sure it's your coworkers too, and the board.
Absolutely.
So, are any parting words before we close?
Yeah, stay tuned for, our flyers to come out in the newspapers. Visit our website. Again, just browse through it. A lot of the information that you may be thinking of is definitely there. So www.seattlemlkcoalition.org. You can also email us at mlkseattle, all lowercase, all one word, @gmail.com. You can follow us on Facebook. If you have Facebook, just go ahead and search us, MLK Seattle Organizing Coalition. We do have a lot of information that is placed there, as well as some event save the dates for our upcoming workshops. We just hope to see the community on the 16th. Please consider joining our youth event on the 15th, which is going to be on Rainier Avenue Radio. That information is also on our website. And again, just we look forward to the support. whether it be supplemental or it just be you coming out and showing up. You know, we look forward to it. So, and we do this for the community. So that's what I believe everyone with. You know, just come out and show up and be ready to have a good time and to celebrate not only togetherness, but Dr. King's vision and legacy.
Thank you, Shaude. This is Brenda Charles Edwards, host of Seniors Matter. You can listen to us live every Friday on Rainier Avenue Radio.world, your community radio station. Thank you so much for listening. And thank you again, Shaude, for all this wonderful information. Please go out and support the event. Once again, the march and the event, I just threw a blank. The major event is on the 16th of January. Thank you. Have a great day. And thank you to my songstress, Miss Patrice Isley. Be safe. Have a great weekend. See you next week.